very much for coming to this session on Commonwealth Scholarship. I'm going to give this presentation just for me to highlight what you need to do for you to apply for the Commonwealth Scholarship. So my name's Billy Chabalengi. I've won the scholarship twice, in 2018, 2019, where I studied a master's in the University of Bradford, and last year again I won it at PhD level. So I'm currently pursuing my PhD in medicines quality and safety, more specifically trying to develop simple method for detecting counterfeit medicine in low resource countries like Zambia. So what are Commonwealth Scholarships? So Commonwealth Scholarship are basically scholarships that are funded, they are fully funded by the Commonwealth and Development Office, or FCDO, who is an UK agency, and being fully funded, they offer you a stipend and other things that I'm going to talk about. They also support research, innovation, and solution, and therefore it is important that as you are applying for the scholarship, you try to align yourself to research or innovation, because the Commonwealth Scholarship is more academically inclined. It's academically and research based, in short. And this scholarship has been running since 1959, and so far we have over 31,000 alumni who have gone through this scholarship. And these over 31,000 have gone through various scholarships. There are 7 unique scholarships that they do offer, which range from scholarships and fellowships. If you go to the website, you'll be able to see the scholarship and the fellowship that they offer. So now when we come to specifically to Zambia, Zambia has been receiving this scholarship also. And so far, from 1960 to 2022, we had 784 Zambian who had received the Commonwealth Scholarship. And these are divided into 710 from receiving the scholarship, and 74 who received the fellowship. Like I mentioned, that there are 2 types of scholarship. We have the scholarship and the fellowship. And these come from the diverse sector like social sciences and education, but the majority of the awards have come from the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEMs and medicines. Okay, so that is a brief introduction about the Commonwealth, and also where Zambia stands in terms of this scholarship. So now, what do the Commonwealth Scholarship offer when you get awarded? The first thing is that they are going to sponsor your master's or your PhD scholarship fully at a UK university, and therefore when you're applying for this scholarship, you only apply for universities that are in the UK. If you want to study in China or study in another country, you cannot use this scholarship to study in other countries. They also support your visa fees, the travel cost from the nearest airport where you are up to your university, and again when you go back from your university up to the nearest airport. If you're a PhD applicant and you get this award, you will be able to be supported if you travel with your family. So there will be a family allowance that will be paid for up to around 8 months, and then afterwards you have to look for yourself. For those who are disabled, they do also offer they do offer support for those who are disabled when they come for these scholarships. And they also offer meaningful opportunities for you to interact with other scholars during your award, so that you can learn from one another and build a network that you can use even after you've graduated and you've joined the alumni. So these are some of the benefits that you get if you get awarded the Commonwealth Scholarship. So the scholarship is based on various themes. So even as you be writing the essays that you are going to be asked, you need to ensure that those essays are linked to these themes. So they've selected 7 themes, there are 6 themes that they do talk about. The first one, science and technology, up to access, inclusion, and opportunity. So you need to select at least 3 that you are going to align your essays and your application to. So they should be related to what you want to study and how you are going to contribute to these themes. You can also link what you want to study to the sustainable development goals that you have. So we have 17 sustainable development goals, the 2030 sustainable development goals. You'll be able to link them. You can also link them to the Agenda 2063. If you've read about Agenda 2063 for Africa, you can look at the African Union website. There is what we call the Agenda 2063. You can link also your impact that you're going to create to those. You can also read the 8th National Development Plan for Zambia. I think we are still using the 8th National Development Plan. And you can link how your study of that course will be related to the impact that you're going to make back home when you come to Zambia. But basically, the theme of the scholarship is based on these 6 developmental themes that you can see in the screen. So which scholarship are currently open? So like I have mentioned, there are 7 various types of scholarship, and they open one after the other. So at the moment, the scholarship is not yet open, to be opening next week on the 10th of September, and it will only be open for 6 weeks. And that's why those of you who are on the WhatsApp group, I think you can remember that in March and in June, I posted giving hints on those who want to apply this time around to start preparing by researching on the courses and also identifying the universities that you want to study to. Those who are doing the PhD, trying to identify the potential supervisors so that you are in contact with them, because you need that information in your application. As you can see, 6 weeks is just 1 month and the 1 month, 2 weeks, or 1 month and a week or so. So yeah, but it's never too late. Since the scholarship are opening on the 10th of September, you can still use this week to look at the various schools that you can apply to. Try, if you are a PhD student, you can try and see which professors or which lecturers in the UK have interest in your area of study, and you try to contact them and see if they'll be willing to take you up as their PhD student, because you need their support during this application. There is a letter that needs to come from the university for those who are applying for PhD. So the first scholarship that is going to open next week on the 10th will be the Commonwealth PhD Scholarship for least developed countries and vulnerable states, and also the Commonwealth Masters Scholarship. So there are 2 types of Masters Scholarship. There is a Masters Scholarship, the general one, and there is also what we call a shared scholarship. So the shared scholarship is not going to open at the moment. It will only open after these 2 scholarships are closed. And the difference between the 2 is that for this general scholarship, you have different nominating agencies. So all applications have to go through a nominating agency. But for the Commonwealth Shared Master's Scholarship, the nominating agency becomes the university where you want to study, and it's only for selected courses that will be listed on the Commonwealth Scholarship website as being eligible for the Master's Shared Scholarship. So for this one, it's a general scholarship, and therefore it is open to any master's course that you want to study, as long as that master's course meet the eligibility criteria. And one of the criteria is that it needs to be a 1-year master's course. It shouldn't be more than 1 year. So even as you are selecting courses for those who are doing masters, you need to select a master's course for 1 year or a minimum of 9 months, and they should be taught masters and not masters by research. So meaning you are going to be taught, sit in class, and you're not going to be doing your masters by just researching. So if you select a masters by research course, then you are not going to be awarded the scholarship. For PhD, your PhD are supposed to be full-time. It's not part-time, so it's supposed to be full-time PhD scholarship. And this should be 3 or 4 years, maximum 4 years in terms of the length of your studies. So they are opening on the 10th of September and will be closing on the 15th of October. And for the master's scholarship, there are about 45 countries that are eligible for this scholarship, and Zambia is one of them. So meaning you're going to have a lot of competition for those who are applying for the master's scholarship. The way the scholarship operates is that you are going to apply through a nominating agency who nominate applicants according to the number of quotas that they've been given to the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission in the UK. And once you are nominated, then you are in this pool of all these countries that you are able to see for masters. And then depending on the quality of your application, you are going to be selected. So there is no quotas for each country that they are going to select 18 for a country, or they are going to select 17 for a country. It depends on the quality of your application after you've been nominated, and they go through your application by the commission in the UK. For PhD, there are only about 18 countries. I don't know if it should be 18, between 15 and 18 countries that are eligible. Again, Zambia is one of those countries. So at least here for PhD, there is less competition if you've prepared well. That is, if you've already identified the professor that you're going to work with, you've made headways in terms of getting a support statement, or you are going to get a support statement, but you have already a potential supervisor who is going to apply, who is going to help you during your application, then you stand a better chance than someone who has not yet found a potential supervisor. Okay, so those are the difference with the PhD and the masters. So eligibility, as we've seen, everyone from Zambia who is applying for masters or PhD, you'll be eligible for the scholarship as long as you are a permanent resident of Zambia, which is one of the eligible countries. In terms of applying, all applications have to go through nominating agencies, like I've mentioned. So there are 2 types of nominating agencies. We have the national nominating agency. So each country has the national nominating agency, and in Zambia, we are going to look at the official nominating agency for Zambia. And then there are other nominating agencies, which are non-governmental organization or charitable organization. So despite of the mode that you are applying to, you need to apply through a nominating agency, and this nominating agency are the ones who will now be able to submit the list of those that they are going to nominate finally for the scholarship, and those are the ones whose application is going to be processed. So if you apply for the scholarship directly on the Commonwealth Scholarship online application portal without consulting the nominating agencies, your application will be not considered. I hope that is clear. So when it comes to the national nominating agency for Zambia, our national nominating agency is the Higher Education Loans and Scholarship Board. And the Higher Education and Scholarship Board, if you've seen my post on the group, they posted last week. They opened the application last week, and the deadline is on the 23rd of this month. So you have at least 23 days to put all your documents and apply for the scholarship if you want to use this route of applying for the scholarship. And they've been given 35 quotas, so meaning they are going to nominate 35 applicants from Zambia for the Commonwealth Scholarship, of which 18 will be masters and 17 will be PhD applicants. And if you look at the advert that they've published, you need to submit an application letter. So even as you are writing that application letter, you do not just write one sentence that you're applying for this scholarship. You need to show to them in your application that you have the qualification and what it takes for you to apply for the scholarship. So ensure that in your application letter you refer to the advert, you include information related to the course that you want to study, and also ensure that you submit the attachments. So in your application letter you should also state the types of supporting documents that you are including, and these should be your CV, the copies of your degree certificate, the transcript, and the NRC. And you should also prepare a study synopsis. So this study synopsis is supposed to demonstrate how the course that you've already selected and you want to come and study, how is it relevant to Zambia. So again, like I said in the beginning when we are looking at the themes, you ensure that you align your study synopsis to these themes, the 6 themes for Commonwealth Scholarship, or you can align it to the Sustainable Development Goals, or you can align them to the National Development Plan, for the 8th National Development Plan that we are currently using as Zambia. If you do so, then you would have demonstrated the relevance of your course or your PhD study on how it is going to be used, and this selection panel is going to use this information during the interview when they call you for interview. So they basically are going to conduct interviews after this 23rd September. The other thing is recommendation letters. So you need also to get recommendation letters from your referee, and you need to also deposit 100 kwacha in the AnatSave bank account as an application fee. So the Commonwealth Scholarship, the way the scholarship is that each nominating agency is given powers to use their own selection process. So for Higher Education and Scholarship Board, one of their process that they've included is that you need to apply an application. You need to pay an application fee of 100 kwacha. But if you look at other nominating agencies, you do not need to pay anything. You just apply. Recommendation letters you need to submit. So you need to at least contact 2 or 3 referees that you want to use in your application, and ensure that they give you the application you submit as you are submitting them to the Higher Education Loan and Scholarship Board. When it comes to the online application, I am thinking this time around you will not need to upload the recommendation letters, but you are going to just include the details of the referees, because every now and then they do change the mode of getting the recommendation letters or references. Sometimes you upload them, sometimes you just include the names of the referees, and the referee needs to follow the link which goes to their emails, and then they are able to recommend you. And that was the case in 2022. Even last year I think they were uploading, but this year I've seen an advert from Uganda, and the nominating agency in Uganda have clearly stated to applicants in Uganda that they will need to just include the names of their referee, and they will receive a link where they will have to provide their recommendation. So this time around you are likely not going to upload the recommendation letter on the online portal, but you just include the referees and they will be able to recommend you. So it's important that you select people who are serious and they are willing to recommend you. And if you put people who are just going to give you a 1-sentence recommendation, then it will be to your disadvantage. You need to select people who know you well and are able to give you a comprehensive recommendation on why you are worth being given this scholarship. So the first process for the Commonwealth Scholarship when you're applying through the Higher Education Loans and Scholarship Board is that you submit a hard copy application, which include this information from their advert. And after the closing date, they are going to invite you for interviews. After you've gone through interviews, they usually contact only those who have been nominated, and they will advise them to complete the online application, print it out, and then submit the hard copy to them so that they will endorse it and send it to the Commonwealth Scholarship Commission. So it is important that even as you apply for this scholarship, you submit these hard copies. Ensure that you start also completing your online application well in advance. Do not wait until the time that you are called to complete the online application, because sometimes they might call you very late, maybe a day to the deadline for application, and you start panicking now because you cannot complete the online application process in just a day. So it is important that you prepare well in advance. You start completing the online application and you have everything ready, so that if you are nominated by the Higher Education Loan and Scholarship Board, you simply print out the application, you submit, you print it out, and then you take to their office and they will be able to endorse. That way you'll be assured that you're not going to be delayed in the scholarship. But if you wait until you are nominated, then that's when you want to start completing the online form, then it will be difficult. So that is my advice. The other nominating agencies that you can apply to include the Commonwealth Disability People Forum. So for disabled applicants, they can use this non-governmental charitable organization to apply for. So they have their own criteria. It is important that you use the Commonwealth Scholarship website. There will be a link for this charitable organization. You can read more information on their website, understand the application process, and apply based on their process. There is also FAWE. So for FAWE, mostly they will nominate female applicants. So for female applicants, you can give it a shot for FAWE. You can follow them on their Facebook website. You can also go to their website, Facebook page, and their website, and you'll be able to find this information. There's also Early Access. Early Access, I think they also nominate both male and female, but you need to be affiliated, or you have to be in their network somehow, but you can still email them and find out on the application process. There's also Canon Collins, Wellcome Trust, and the Commonwealth Equality Network. So these are some of the non-government organization, and charitable bodies that you can apply through. So when the online application opens, all the nominating agencies will be provided in the online application. So you only select the online. When you select Zambia, during your application, at the beginning of the application, you're going to log in. After you've logged in, you put in your email address, your password, your country. Then as you are progressing through the application, there's a section where you need to select a nominating agency. So if you select Zambia, you are only going to see all the nominating agencies under Zambia. And you can select any of those that you are eligible to and complete the application form. So you can apply to as many nominating agencies as possible, as long as they are appearing under Zambia and you are eligible to apply through them. Like I've mentioned, for FAWE, it's only female. So if you are male, even if FAWE is appearing on your online application portal, you will not be able to apply through that route. You can still apply, but they will not consider you because they will consider female. So if you want to make multiple application, once you log in, you select one nominating agency and you go ahead and complete the application. When you come again back to the login in, after logging in, you will see that the application that you would have started will be given a number. So you can start another new application and select another nominating agency. And that is how you'll be able to add on different nominating agents. So for example, if you want to apply through the Higher Education Scholarship Board, you create that application. You want to apply through the Canon Collins Trust, you also have a separate application. But if you are, since you'll be using the same courses, same information, you can use the same application, but you are just applying through different nominating agencies for you to get that nomination that you want. So there's no problem with applying for multiple nominating agencies. There's no problem with you using the same information and same application. All what you want is for you to get nominated. It's actually also shows that you know what you are doing when you use the same information. Because if you use different information or you select different courses for different nominating agencies, then it will show that you do not know exactly what you want, or your career plan is not certain. Because if both nominate you and everything is assessed, when they are nominated and they find that the information is different, they might start wondering. So it's important that you use the same information. For master's students, you are required to select at least 3 universities and 3 courses. So ensure that you select 3 courses that are similar at 3 universities. For PhD, usually you are also going to select 3 universities and 3 potential supervisors, but you should ensure that you have at least 1 potential supervisor who has already agreed with you, and they are going to provide a statement. So like the previous application, the way it was for masters, you only provide 3 references. For PhD, you are providing 3 references plus 1 support statement from your potential supervisor. So I guess even this time that will be the case. You need to provide 3 referees, 3 in the names of your 3 referees. And if you're applying for PhD, in addition to those 3 referees, you need to also provide details of your potential supervisors who are going to provide a support statement on how they'll be able to support you once you are nominated and awarded and you start pursuing your PhD. And like I have mentioned already, these scholarships, they are open to everyone as long as you are from an eligible country. So there is equal opportunity and access for all, whether you are disabled, and there is no discrimination that is there. So as long as you are eligible, you can apply for these scholarship. I hope I've given enough information. I'm going to open for question, but before I do that, just to also highlight that there are useful links and information that you need to consider. And before I move to that, maybe I should talk about the selection criteria. So once you've applied through your nominating agency and you get nominated, your application is going to go to the Scholarship Commission, and they have commissioners. I think there are a number of them, more than 15. They are the ones who read your essays, they read your application, and they'll be able to select. And these commissioners, you have a privilege of meeting some of them when you come and you go for the orientation program in London. And my interaction with one of them, what they really mentioned was that they really read through your application and they much pay attention to what you are saying and try to see if you are being realistic. So even as you are applying and you are writing those essays, dream big but be realistic in what you are saying. They are experts, they come from academia, so they do understand everything that you are going to write in your application. And once they have read your essays, they have read your application, they use the selection criteria to select those potential applicants who are going to be nominated. I think every year they take close to 700 from all these eligible countries that I've shown you. So the first one is academic merit of the candidate. So whether you're applying for the master's or the PhD, you need to have had a distinction, a credit, or a merit. But usually a merit and a distinction have an upper hand. So that is a primary selection criteria. So you score high if you have a distinction or you have a merit in terms of your academic qualification. The quality of your study plan. So like I've mentioned, your study plan needs to be linked to the National Development Plan, to the Sustainable Development Goals, the 6 themes, or the Agenda 2063 of the African Union. So if you have a quality plan on how you are going to contribute to Africa, to Zambia, that is also another selection criteria that they are going to use. And one important part, like I mentioned, the focus of this scholarship is on research. And so if you are going at the PhD level, even at the master's level, try by all means to identify if there are any gaps in terms of academia needs in your field, and include that in your application and demonstrate how you want to come and contribute to development of other professionals within your field through lecturing or research, because the scholarship is focused on that, especially for those who are applying for PhD. Potential impact to the development of the candidate's home, again, that is very important. So you need to demonstrate that I'm going to issue a PDF where I'll give advice on how to respond to different essays after the scholarship has opened. I'll need to look at the essays that are in the scholarship, and then I'll develop a PDF a PDF where I give advice on how you will be able to answer the different essays, like I've done it previously, and I'll be able to post on WhatsApp group. You can use that to be able to guide you as you are answering those essay questions. So like I've mentioned, you need to apply and submit a complete application through the online application portal. So no scholarship will be considered if it does not go through the nominating agency. So most of the nominating agencies, like the non-charitable organization, you will apply on the online application portal, and once you submit, they will have access and they will be able to use their own selection criteria, which is also in line with these selection criteria, and they will be able to nominate you to the scholarship commission. So ensure that you provide the complete application, you complete all the aspects of the online application. If you are applying for PhD and you have done some publications, like I'm emphasizing, the scholarship is academically and research oriented. They want to see that impact, so ensure that you include references, or you include articles that you've published on your own or with other scholars. Even at masters, if you you're applying for a master's scholarship, you can include that information to demonstrate that you are in line with the focus of this scholarship. Your transcript should also be uploaded, and at least 2 references, and a supporting statement if you are a PhD applicant, like I've mentioned. So you can download the selection criteria from the website. You find it on the Commonwealth Scholarship website, but I'll also provide it in the PDF that I'm talking about when I develop some points on how to answer some of the essay questions. Other links, if you are new to the scholarship, that you can consider is links that are talking about the developmental theme. So there you are going to just learn more on the themes that you can align your essays to. Nominating agencies, there is a link where you will be able to see the nominating agency and their contact details if you want to contact them before you complete an application, just for you to find out more information if you are eligible to apply through them or not. So you can go to that tab on the website and you'll be able to see their contact details and contact them, find out well in advance, and if you are eligible, and they tell you how to apply through them, because each nominating agency will have their own process of selection. Then you'll be able to use that process and apply. There is also advice to applicants. This is also important because it has the feedback, especially on many mistakes that the applicant makes on the online portal or generally in their application. You find that someone does not include the required information, someone does not answer the essay within the word limit that is given, such things. So if you go through this advice to applicants, try and see what those who have applied before you have done as mistakes, and try to avoid those mistakes even as you're applying through the scholarship. If you have questions that you want to ask, there is a frequent asked question section on the website that you can use, and you'll be able to you'll be able to get your answers to some of your questions that you are going to have through the frequent asked questions on the website. I think I've given the tips that I wanted to give, so I'll open it for questions. If there are any questions, you are free to raise your hand and then we'll give you a chance to ask. Do we have any question? Yes, you can go ahead. Okay, how can one join the WhatsApp group? Let me try and give the WhatsApp link in the chat. So I'm going to post the link in the chat. Just give me a minute. Okay, so my screen is open. I'm not able to see everything. So if you have a question, please just unmute and go ahead and ask.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, so my name is Fred, and I just wanted some clarification on the application through the agencies. So if you do you use both higher educations and loans board application at the same time with the online, or you start with the higher educations board, and then once you're accepted, then you start the online? I didn't understand how we sync the two, because you said we apply through the agency, but at the same time, don't waste time to start your online application. Just clarify on how we can merge the two.
Yes, so the scholarship board starts by advertising, like they've done last week. So once they advertise, you have to apply, and when you look at that advert, they've clearly stated that you need to submit a hard copy to their offices. So that is the first step. You are going to submit that application to their offices and ensure that you submit before the 23rd. And a good practice from the experience that we've had over the previous years is that you need to also start your online application once you've submitted your physical copy to their offices. You start your online application also, so that after the interviews, because they are the only ones that conduct interviews. The other charitable organization like Canon Collins Trust, they do not conduct interviews. You just apply through the online application, and once the scholarship closes, they will have access to your application. They will be able to evaluate and then nominate you. So for them, they conduct interviews, and then from those interviews, they'll be able to select the numbers that they want and inform those that have been nominated to go now and complete the online application. And from experience, trust me, they usually give maybe a day, 2 or 3 days before the deadline. So that's why I was saying that you need to start also completing the online application in good time, as long as you have been invited for interview and you know that you are submitting a strong application, start also completing the online application, so that if they give you just a day, they call you just a day to the closure of the online application, that you should complete the online application and submit it to them, then you would have already done a lot of work on the online application. You simply submit that application and download the copy, print it, and take it to their office. And that way, you would have killed the two process with the one stone. But if you wait until the end, then you start panicking, because you are not going to be able to manage to write all the 7 essays. There are 7 essays that you need to write. So it will be difficult for you to write the 7 essays, complete all the information that is required in the application form, and then submit in a day or two. So that's why I was advising that once you've completed, you've submitted your physical application form, and you know that you are submitting a quality application and they invite you for interview, then you can start completing the online application. I hope that is clear.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Do we have any other question? Yes, Priska.
Yes. I wanted to know the word limit for these essays, like for the government impact statement. How long should they be? Like each part has 4 parts, but how long is each part?
Okay, so
and on the first part 1 of the essay, I was not very clear what it means, where it says that you need to explain how the proposed scholarship relates to the part A and part B. Are they referring to the scholarship or your topic, that the project that you want to research on?
Okay, so it is the topic, or it's the topic that you want to research on, or the course that you want to study, depending on the level of your study, whether it's master's or it's PhD. So for PhD, it will be usually the topic that you are going to include. At master's, it will be the course that you want to study. So you need to relate that part. How does it relate to development? Then how long are the essays? So like I've mentioned, there are about 7 essays, and these essays, they have different word limits. So just follow that word limit. It will be stated on the online application. Some are 500, the other one is 750, the other one are 200. There's also a 250 word limit. So ensure that you use at least 80% of the word limit that is given. Then you are home and dry. If you spend less than 50% of the word limit that is given, then you're not going to write good essays or a strong application that when the commissioners read, they will be able to see that yes, indeed, this applicant needs to be awarded because they've given us a strong statement. So my advice is that at least 80 to 90% of the word limit should be used up, if not the whole 100% of the word limit, but not less than 50%. I hope I've answered your questions.
Yes. Just maybe come again on how you can apply through both like more than one nominating agency.
Okay, so when the online application portal opens, the first thing that you need will be to register an account. So you put your name, your email address, and your password. And once you log in, you now need to give your name inside the application, so that there is a name that is attached. You give your name, your age, and other information that is related to you, and you select a country, which will be Zambia. So once you select country, and when you start progressing, you go to the next step after selecting your country. Only nominating agencies that are eligible for Zambia will be shown in the application. So if you want to, for example, you want to apply through Fawe. Your first application, you are going to click on nominating agents. On that download menu, you're going to select Fawe as your nominating agents. And once you select them, you will now be able to progress, and whatever you are going to be applying in that application form will be what you are going to submit to Fawe. And that application form will even be given a number. I think should be a 6 or 7 digit application that will be attached to that, and you can progress and come and complete it at any time that you want. Make sure that you save as you complete each section of the application form. Again, when you come back to the first page where you put in your name and the details, and where there is the nominating agents, you see a tab which I think should be written new or new application. When you click on it, you can start a new application, and this time you select another nominating agents. If it's Canon Collins, you select Canon Collins. If it's the Higher Education Scholarship Board, you select them and you proceed and save that application. And when you come back at the beginning of the application, you're going to see that now you have 2 applications, and the percentage of completion will be shown as you are progressing through completing the information on the website. If you want to add the third nominating agents, again you go to the nominating agencies page, you click on new application, you select your third nominating agency, and you progress. So just like that. So when you submit, at the end, after you've attached your documents and you've given a declaration, I think there's a declaration at the end that you need to declare, and you click submit, you'll be able now to get a copy of the PDF that you can save as your copy, or if you need to submit it to the nominating agency, that is what you are going to print and submit. So ensure you complete all the process for each application that you are going to create. If you create 3, then you submit all the 3. Okay, I'm going to allow one more question. I think we are remaining with about 5 minutes, so just one question. Do we have any other question? Okay, you don't seem to have any. Yes, Diana, you can go ahead. I hope I'll be able to get you now.
Can you get me?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Okay, so I wanted to find out about, I saw somewhere where it was written you also need to submit a personal statement. So is it among the essays, or is just something separate and then the essays are different?
So the personal statement is among the 7 essays that you are going to submit. I think the personal statement is usually about 750 words, and you need to include, there are 2 parts of the personal statement. Yeah, but they will be part of the 7 essays that you need to write in the application. That is when you go to the online application. But when you are submitting to the Higher Education and Scholarship Board, it's only your plan that you are providing them, and they've given a limit of 400 words. Okay, I think we still have 2 more minutes. Any other question before we close? I can take one more question. All right, I don't see any. I don't see any hand. Okay, so thank you very much for attending. If you have any questions, feel free to ask on the WhatsApp group, and we'll be able to respond when we have time. We'll be able to answer. And like I've mentioned, once the scholarship opens, we'll be able to give tips on how to answer the various essays that will be in the application form. So the scholarship is opening on the 10th of September, which is I think next week. So all the best to those who are applying. If you are applying for masters and you've not already identified universities and courses, this is the time for you to do that. For PhD, the same. Identify at least 3 universities and 3 potential supervisors. Contact them, have them accept. At least one should accept to support you, because you need that supporting statement. Without that supporting statement from your potential supervisors, your application will not be complete and you will not be able to be awarded the PhD scholarship. So all the best to those who are applying, and thank you for attending. So bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.